home with a family that has such a rich legacy and history. To be here honored by the P.C. Chandra Group brings me back to my childhood when I played gully cricket and gully football here in Kolkata. As a young man, being born to a legacy myself, when Michael Madhusudhan Dotto was my great-great-grandfather, my father, Dr. Vespers, won his medal in 1972 in Munich Olympics. As a young boy, every Sunday, I used to polish my father's medal sitting on the family home floor. I always was inspired by this Olympic medal, and I asked my father what the 5 rings stood for. And he said the 5 rings in the Olympics stood for the 5 continents on the planet. I asked them why they were different colors. And he taught me about the movement of the Olympics, which is health, community, competition, camaraderie, and leadership. And then I asked my father about the angel on the Olympic medal, which really caught my attention. And he said that angel is the goddess of Athena, the goddess of Athens, where the first Olympics were played. I was all of about 5 or 6 years old, and I was very inquisitive as a young man. And my father always answered my questions. He never thought that one question was too silly. He never thought that one question was too difficult. My father always had time for me. Today, I want to pay my respects to another father of the nation, Mr. P.C. Chandra. Mr. P.C. Chandra is not only the founder of such a wonderful legacy and family, but he's an inspiration to all of us youngsters. That this is how Bengal stands for. When I was doing my homework on the P.C. Chandra Group, I did not realize how big a group the P.C. Chandra Group is. 4 generations in the family. It's my greatest honor to sit on the dais on the stage with one of the leaders, Mr. A.K. Chandra. This young man is 85 years old. He's fit. He walks sturdy. And he looked me straight in the eye earlier today and he said, I go to office every day. So you inspire me. You inspire me not only to walk sturdy when I'm 85 years old, but you inspire me to motivate and encourage and inspire 250 million children in our country through sport. Thank you, sir. To my right on the dais is the dashing Mr. U.K. Chandra. He likes wearing gold with gold trims. It takes a real man to carry that off. We were talking about how I am your 32nd recipient of this wonderful P.C. Chandra Puraskar Award. The uniqueness of that is my lucky number is number 5. For a few of you who paid attention in math class, you can add up 3 plus 2. 5. Life to me is not just luck. It's not just chance. Life to me is my favorite Indian word, karma. To be here today on this dais, it's a great honor to not just represent Bengal, the country, but but to represent 1.4 billion Indians through 7 Olympics and bring the world record back home to India and to Kolkata. Maharaj and myself were sitting in the back room, and when Maharajji walked into the room, there was like a light that came into the room, an aura, a light. And how beautifully you switched between Bangla, Hindi and English. And it will be my greatest honor to come to the Math and to learn from you and to share with you how we can inspire all the youth in our country, because today the youth have tremendous stress and pressure. Board exam pressure, family pressure, social media pressure, relationship pressure, parental pressure. And Maharajji, your gentle voice, your sharp eyes, and your wonderful chosen words, it will be my greatest honor to come and spend time with you, sir, and to learn from you how we can inspire the youth of our nation. Thank you. Over the last 40 years, I've been very blessed by God and the universe to play for you. Over the last 40 years, we have won 20 Grand Slams together. We have also won India's first and only Olympic medal in tennis together. We have also played over 100 Grand Slams. We've got the world record in Davis Cup. And the reason I'm talking to you about this is because there are so many youngsters in the audience here today. Today, I also look at this beautiful stage behind me, and I'm very grateful to the organizers and the people behind the scenes who use Photoshop to make me look more handsome than I really am. But really, to inspire all the young kids that we are the only male Asian and Indian tennis player to be inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. My message to every single youngster is that growing up in the city of Kolkata, playing gully cricket, gully football, my passion was football. But I had to switch to another sport, tennis, because when I was in the European Football Academy at the age of 11, they asked me to give up my Indian passport so that the investment they put into my career would then be for me to play for another country and not for me to go and play for an opposing country. But it's very important to know what your legacy is. It's very important to know the legacy you leave in the world. And I was very blessed to know that to play for the Tiranga and to play for you and to play for India and to play for you was my legacy. The message to every youngster is that if I can, you can. Today, my Baba is not keeping too well. I returned back to Kolkata after 40 years of traveling the world playing for you. But today, my mother is in this auditorium with us. And on Mother's Day, I'd like to wish you Happy Mother's Day. And to every single mother in this auditorium, I'd like to bow my head and say thank you. I'd like to bow my head and show gratitude, because the Indian woman is the center of the family. the Indian woman is so talented and so powerful. And the Indian woman conducts that power and talent with so much of grace. I'd like to thank every single mother for being a great wife, partner, businesswoman, inspiration, and a proud mother. I wouldn't be who I am today without my mother. She bought me my first tennis racket. It was a very fancy racket because I used to play with a wooden racket from GK Sports. The racket that I had was a Slazenger racket, and on one side it said rough, and on the other side it said smooth. I always tried to be the smooth side. Sometimes maybe not so much. But that racket, I would do the coin toss, and I always throw smooth. The racket that my mother bought for me was a very fancy fiberglass racket called Lobster. I remember wiping it every single night before I went to bed. I remember when I came back from GK Sports after it was strong, I used to preserve and look after that racket so well. Well, today I have my family in the auditorium, and I'd like to thank my parents, my siblings, my cousins, my partner, my nieces and nephews, and my own daughter, for all the passion that you put into me and my career. The 50 years of undying belief and support, that even when I doubted myself, you were there for me. Even when I failed and lost and double-faulted, you made me believe that I could be the best that I could be. Thank you. After I played 40 years, it looked like I needed a global pandemic to eventually retire. COVID-19 came about and it put me into retirement. And I was very blessed again to have the time to be back home, where my roots are, where my passion is, and where the creativity of India comes from, right here in West Bengal. And I had the time to reinvent myself. And today, also my team at Flying Man Ventures, which is the name of my company again, is sitting right to the left. And we have signed up our first Olympic Training Academy. And the first Olympic Training Academy I designed 9 years ago. It was complete 3.5 years ago. But because I was still on the professional tour, I'd given it out to others to manage the sport. But just the day before yesterday, I have signed my first Olympic Training Academy with 16 sports, all Olympic sports, and 100,000 children studying at the university there. And my company, Flying Man Ventures, is determined to empower the youth that over the next 15 years, we can inspire 250 million children through the vehicle of sport. I'd like to thank my team for the hard work they put in, and this is the first venture that we've done good on. It's been 3 months, it's been 3 tough months. I look forward to the next few months where we can really buckle in and make a difference to our country, just like Mr. P.C. Chandran has done. I love sharing global accolades with India. I love sharing global accolades with my fellow Indians. Today I've brought a piece of my history. I've played at Wimbledon over 40 times. I have played 9 Wimbledon finals, and over those 9 Wimbledon finals, I've been very blessed to have won Wimbledon 6 times. I won the junior boys singles in 1990. It took me 9 years to win the seniors. And then after that, I won Wimbledon in 2003 with Martina Navratilova, one of my greatest inspirations, who taught me how you can age gracefully and still be a champion. And the last Wimbledon title I won was in 2015. That was my 6th title. In the Grand Slams, as athletes, when you get on the court to play, on the chairs that you sit on, they put some very fancy Wimbledon towels. At the French Open, it's French Open towels. At the US Open, it's US Open towel. And at the Olympics, it's the Olympic towel. Today, for a man who has shaped our country and our state, for a family who has shaped our country and our state, for a legacy of 4 generations of the P.C. Chandra family, I would like to honor one of the sons of the soil, Mr. P.C. Chandra, and all 4 generations of his family. And my humble request is if you would accept my Wimbledon winning towel for the P.C. Chandra family. Because today, all 4 generations are my champions. To give me a second, I'm going to hand this over to the young man, Mr. A.K. Chandra, so that he can share it with the family. And I'll be back on the mic in a second. If you can please give this man and his family a standing ovation while I give this to them, please. Thank you for that. I believe that the next 10 years are India's 10 years to shine. I believe that as much as we have the youngest population in the world, to empower our youth is the need of the day. I extend my hand as Leonardo Pace, a son of Bengal, a son of India, to extend my hand to the P.C. Chandra group and all 4 generations. The youngest one met me earlier today. He's a dashing young man with a lot of responsibilities on his shoulder, and he has broad shoulders. I would be very honored to extend my hand along with the P.C. Chandra group to make India and West Bengal and inspire the youth to be champions in their own right. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for this great honor. It is wonderful to be back in the Jai Hind.